Excuse me. That's a great way to start my stream. No, what would be a great way to start my stream is if I would start the game first and then hit the stream button. You'd think I would have learned that by now. Sometimes I have a reason for doing it this way. Sometimes not so much. Anyway, here we go. Here we are again. Here we be. Let me get my chat out. There's my chat. There's my game window, which needs to come over here where I can see it and the chat at the same time. There we go. Okay. Banglebauerbeim. Good evening. And welcome to another episode, installment, session of Tangle Tower. Where last time I remembered that in both of the Detective Grimoire games so far, you can talk to people about clues and other people, not just conversation topics. And that opened up a whole bunch of info. So I'm gonna be systematically going through the tower and doing that now. Oh yeah, also.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
Flora still saying nothing. Okay. We already talked to Felix, but we didn't talk to him about these drawings we just found, so let's go do that before we move on.
These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know. Seems likely, though, doesn't it?
Hey, TV fan. This is a sort of a visual novel murder mystery thingy, kind of similar to like it's kind of like a cross between Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright. But it's I can't say how similar it is to the actual Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright game because I haven't played that one yet. Let's see. Okay, so we have talked to... Oh yeah, we haven't talked to Fifi about the drawings yet, I don't think. Yeah, no, we talked to her about everything else.
Freya drew these.
Yeah, I think so. There's a note on the back.
But she never showed them to me.
Well, I think it was a gift for your mother, like a private thing between Freya and Flora.
It's cute that, like, Flora and Freya were apparently such good friends. Like, such a big, like, age gap. I like that. What is... Huh. Huh. Like a bird flying around in the background there. Also, I wonder if there's a room here. It seems unlikely because this tube of water goes from the ground floor all the way up to this rooftop garden. Well, there might be a room here, like with like the water going through the middle of it. Maybe we'll find out later. Let's see. Let's go talk to this guy. Let's work our way down from the top. Professor Pointer.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end. He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends.
Well, gee, someone's jealous.
Ah, yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally.
That's true. He's all about big stuff, and she's all about tiny stuff.
Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you.
How?
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I've begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
I bet that tape, the damaged one, is a recording of her.
What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family.
Oh.
Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived.
Interesting. Okay. So Fitz is technically a bastard. Maybe.
I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
The Ganymede and Titan, yes sir, I've been around.
Ah, Penelope, our resident ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in time, until she marries the gardener.
She'll still be your niece.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the Fellows. Like rats deserting a sinking ship.
Jeez. What a grump.
My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh, no. I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where did she go?
Away. She went away.
Huh. Huh. Wonder what that's all about.
So which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are two towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her family.
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade. Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough.
Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same.
The niece, which niece? Penelope? She's 20. She's 20 something. I forget. There was an exact age mentioned somewhere. She said she was 20 something. Hang on. Yeah, Penny is his niece. Poppy is his daughter. Yeah, who are you talking about? Oh, Penny and Fifi. Okay, yeah. Oh, Fifi is 19. Fifi, Poppy, and Freya are all 19. Yeah, Penny is older than them. Fitz is also older than them. They're both in their 20s. I don't know. I forget exactly how old they are. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah. 19 and then 20 something. Wait, no, let's talk about this. Penny and Fitz are, I don't know if they're exactly the same age, but they're similar in age. I'd have to dig up some other clues I found somewhere, I think. I forget what actually said how old they were. I'm sure it was stated somewhere. I forget where.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is. Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar. I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar.
We have established that that isn't a knife.
Pointer property originally, purloined by the fellows. Typical. I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends. Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
Is this important?
Possibly.
Here's a thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon? After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
It is possible.
This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know. This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license. These were drawn by Freya? She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
Poppy's two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there. Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating interpretation.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
I'm convinced that that's Hawkshaw. That's like a weird abstract painting of Hawkshaw that Freya did. And I'm very curious about the relationship between Freya and Hawkshaw. Like, why is... Like, Freya seems to be one of the few people who actually acknowledges Hawkshaw.
That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put.
Yes, agreed. I have this headcanon that Hawkshaw is non-binary, even though like everything about like the game is consistently referring to her with she/her pronouns. But I don't know. She just seems like the non-binary type to me.
A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary.
But also, yes, hot and hopefully gay. Agreed.
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope.
Oh, yeah.
Thought you might know
She,
something
they,
about
mhm.
it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see. It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Wait, I missed what he said about this one.
That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care
I
of
like
it.
the look of a better than one that's never.
Ah, well,
Okay.
a diary can be a wonderful...
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does...
Okay.
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. You might know something.
Well, it has a part there to screw it's rather small.
No.
Okay. Since I was talking, I missed a few of the bits of that dialogue. I just wanted to make sure I absorbed everything properly.
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all.
Because he can? It's called a hobby.
Oh, you found a murder weapon?
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like a weapon to me.
Fifi said the same thing. She thought it was a knife.
Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes. What a precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she? Oh, if you don't know, perhaps I don't either.
She hasn't changed a bit. Pretty sure she has. At least, visually.
Oh my. This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano. Primrose, that is Poppy's mother. She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her how to play.
Poppy's piano teacher was her mother.
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything, Poppy still has it up on her wall. That's rather a small cage for 3 birds, isn't it? But then, aren't we all trapped in a cage?
Quit trying to be deep.
Well now, that is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that. What that's all about.
What kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturalist. Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Oh,
Interesting.
I get it.
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
I've seen those earmuffs before. They're the ones Fitz always wears when he's out the front gardening.
Always wears?
Whenever I've seen him, yes.
Okay.
I think you may wish to adjust your threshold of what you consider to be a clue. Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay, well, you have been marginally helpful. Basically just raised more questions. Let's talk to Penny.
A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
a little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
You sure did.
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable. She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh. you don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it. She's a most unsavory little...
Ooh.
She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility.
Okay.
Did you not know that?
Not really. Interesting. Mention of Hawkshaw is the first time I've actually seen her, like, get genuinely upset.
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Aw.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
Aw. That's sweet.
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input. Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
I don't know, I mean, sometimes information is just, hey, that's neat.
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait, is that me? Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would
Wow.
Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Very mature, Penny. Hey, Skullgun. What is going on? I'm playing Tangle Tower. We are interrogating everybody about everything.
You know, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
Hmm.
Finally! I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Only last week I asked that miserable Hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
So what? I mean, what does she think you're gonna do with her case notes?
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it. I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though. Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue.
Do we even know what that letter says? I'll check my case file in a sec after I'm finished with all these questions.
I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her. Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable. How terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
Okay, that's the first thing that's genuinely upset her.
Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Wow. For a bird woman, you sure are catty.
Freya doesn't take very good care of her pains, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian, had her own priorities. Oh, that's rather sad. If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind.
That's all you get from it?
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it?
I mean, it's practice.
Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so there's definitely something going on between Fitz and Poppy, and Penny is aware of it. Alright.
Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style. I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew. Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one? Well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
Well, that's sad. I hope it isn't dead.
Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess, too.
Excellent. I don't know what that is. Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point, I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look. Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right. Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea. Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? I thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her.
What's that supposed to mean?
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you? Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all 3 of those names.
Which one is which?
That's what I
Oh,
was gonna
that's
ask.
simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your
okay.
head?
On my head? He's just my hat. He doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
Okay, that answers the question of whether that is a real bird or not.
That's rather strange now, isn't it?
We found it in your room.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope. You'd hidden it, but we found it.
We do that.
Who's the her in the message? And what's the deal with the petals?
It's really none of your business.
Oh, I just realized the petals are probably rose petals, which would line up with this whole thing with Fitz giving a rose to Poppy. Yep.
Yes, it's my, my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it?
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar. Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
Lovely. Oh, there used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question.
What happened indeed?
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
There's something about those petals we found in Pennyworth.
Excuse me.
Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Well, we're right here, so yeah. Let's ask.
Yeah, we found this.
Oh, that's nothing.
You wrote, "Now I'll get her," on a piece of paper and hid it in your room. That's not nothing.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask about. It's those red flower petals.
The petals.
They're from red roses, and there's only one place in Tangle Tower with red roses.
We need a clue. Something that shows the roses. And who they belong to.
That one? Actually. Wait, let me see real quick. What is in this letter? Oh, that's right. Okay. The combination is drawn on the other sheet. Once you have and rise destroy it, I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find it down there. Okay. That's not relevant to this. I was just trying to remember what the letter actually said.
It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden. See what Fitz is holding?
I can't imagine what you're getting at, but it doesn't matter. I couldn't have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room. How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Is it really only accessible from those 2 bedrooms?
For most people, it would be. But don't forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
My dears, what are you accusing me of?
Okay, let's see. How and why did Penny decide to access the rooftop garden? One of Penny's birds. Yeah.
One of Penny's birds was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz and steal evidence from them. We know those 2 have been spending time together in the rooftop garden. I'm guessing you got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that. Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
We need a clue to compare with Penny's birds. Something to prove one of them has been in the rooftop garden.
Kabam.
Let's take a closer look at these.
After it killed Freya. Dang, I'd be impressed if that was the case.
This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
I can't stand it! Knowing the 2 of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden. I couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it for me. I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days. But being with Poppy
He's quiet with everyone.
seems to bring him out of his shell. I don't know what he sees in her miserable little... I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
Oh. I feel bad for her. Okay. Let's see. Who should we go to next? I guess let's continue working our way down. Poppy!
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing with the shifting form of feeling, stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space.
Wow. Busting out some goth poetry on me.
Foregone drifter, holding fast, days as shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender, accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom some 4 walls make round a room?
I mean, it already kind of is. Like, these are all... Everybody here is related in some way or another.
Between the lips a silver spoon, a story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart, unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays in the center of a maze.
Not sure what that means. Hey, Miss Senna. We're working on it.
With surging tide, the waves are thrown, an entity of all its own. But on its surface you may see, reflected in the waters be, the orchestrator, pale and still, pulling strings, enacting will.
Ooh. Well, that's ominous.
Hard of head, but free of mind, unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond, behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied, it's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be.
Ooh.
Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way.
Yeah, Poppy rules, and I love her too.
Eavesdrop what the stars are saying, earthly tether, slowly fraying, floating, helpless from the worst of jealous hunger, selfish thirst. Take a moment, kneel and meet the flowers growing at your feet.
Oh, that's like oddly tender. That's her dad, by the way.
Feathers flashing in the light from a sunbeam gleaming bright. I shield my eyes and turn my head, but all at once I've been misled. Light is shining on the stage, but through the railings of a cage.
Ooh. Nice. Well, really, so technically Cooks Are Delicious, the games do have story, it's just that, like, it's very sparse. And not really affecting the gameplay very much at all.
That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects. Always thought that would be kinda cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
Oh, wow. Okay, so more of a story.
So there are two families living in Tangle Tower?
Mm-hmm. 3 pointers and 5 fellows. 4 fellows.
What's the connection between them?
There isn't one. Not really. It was all built by the Remington family. Flora's a Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
So the Fellows and the Pointers own the house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask, that means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
No idea.
Bustling solar punk city of Helianthus is Norikaga. Oh, wow. Wow. Dang. Okay, that sounds pretty rad. Is it on Steam?
There's something I noticed.
I guess, well, it's
about
probably not even
Freya's
finished
knife
yet.
wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
Okay. I wonder if the Cooks Are Delicious guy, Chubbigans, because he had a blog that he posted updates about Cooks Are Delicious 2 on, and I think 3 as well. I wonder if that blog is still active and if he's posting about this new game there.
This is mine.
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
What do you make of this statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah, weird.
I also wonder if, like, whoever threw the tape in the fountain didn't actually know how to destroy a tape.
Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone or signed by anyone?
Someone's being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you. When I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps. Nothing about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything.
Well, it might lead to something. We just haven't put all the pieces together yet.
It was my mother's originally.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody? What was inside?
Nothing.
Huh. Why is the glass cracked down one side?
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
No way. Freya took good care of her stuff. Freya would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do. Is that supposed to be Flora?
Possibly.
Oh. How nice. Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
Hey, that's me. Not a bad likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
Is there something wrong with that?
This is a photo of Fifi and Freya, right?
Yeah,
How come you're not in it? You're friends with them too, aren't you?
I'm not really one for photographs.
Fifi looks like she really admires Freya.
Fifi's loyalty to Freya is unshakable. I think everybody sees something different.
Did Freya ever tell you what she saw in it?
Not exactly. She said something about it being from a recurring nightmare.
Sorry, but if it was from a nightmare, why would you paint it and leave it in front of your bed?
Maybe she wanted to take control of it. Giving something a physical form can make it easier to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes. That belongs to Flora, I think. Is that Fifi's diary? I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
I thought you and Fifi were close friends.
Yeah, we are. It's just Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it.
Oh. She also punched you in the face.
Did you find that in Fifi's room?
No. Should we have?
No, it's just. It looks like something she'd use, don't you think? Oh, you've been to the greenhouse? What did you think?
Impressive, I guess. But kind of unsettling with Fitz lurking in the shadows the whole time.
Yeah, he does that.
You two are perfect for each other.
Is that a gardening trowel?
Yeah, I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Huh. Never seen him use it.
Hmm. Okay, so then I think he probably got this from Penny and not Poppy.
Don't look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano.
Huh. Creepy.
I don't know what that is.
Weird, considering we found it hidden in your room.
Well, my room is full of junk. There's probably a bunch of stuff hidden in there. I don't mean like... Please stop talking to me. Yeah, it's mine.
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mine.
What's so special about it?
I got it from my teacher. It's the first piece I ever learned.
How long have you been playing?
Since the day I turned 6. Family tradition. I was really excited to start learning. As soon as I got out of my first lesson, I told Freya and Fifi all about it. When I arrived at my second lesson the next day, Freya was there too. She hadn't asked permission, just showed up. For 2 whole years, the teacher taught us both.
Was Freya any good?
She would have been even better than me, if she'd stuck with it. But one day, she just stopped coming to lessons.
Why?
That's just it. There was no reason. That's when I realized things were different for her.
What does that mean, I wonder?
I think it's kind of cruel to keep 3 birds in one cage like that.
Agreed.
Does Penny not let them out to fly?
Oh, she does. She must do. But I don't think they're allowed to go far. Penny can be a little protective. Those petals,
What about them?
it's nothing. They're just unusual. Never seen that one before. Was it in the greenhouse?
No, we found it in Penny's room.
Ah, right. You get some weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep beetles in a box in her room.
Why?
For fun, obviously.
Do you know where those earmuffs came from?
I put them there.
Why?
Found them lying around. I think they belonged to Fitz. I put them on the statue so he'd see them. I thought they looked like headphones, like he's in the recording studio with his guitar. No?
If they do belong to Fitz, he hasn't taken them back yet. When did you find them?
This morning.
Where?
I don't know, in a hallway. Can't remember exactly. I see a lot of birds up in the rooftop garden. They seem to really like it up there.
Why's that?
It's quiet. Oh, sweet.
There's something about that diary we found in Fifi's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Sure, let's go do that. We've already talked to Fifi about everything else, so let's go bother her about this.
Is this your diary, Fifi? We found it in your bedroom.
Of course it is mine. Ridiculous question.
Why is it locked up like that?
You seriously require an explanation. Very well. A fairly common concept, the so-called secret diary, is favored in particular by girls between the ages of 10.
So, there are secrets written in here?
This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
Don't really have any way of knowing which of these is correct, but
It's
let's go with
Fifi's
that one.
diary, and she has written in it.
I'm not sure about that.
Me neither.
This particular diary is unused.
You think two?
It doesn't
Okay.
look unused.
Yeah.
It's somebody else's diary.
How could you arrive at that conclusion? It is kept in my bedroom. It is mine.
We need a clue to compare with the diary. Something to prove who the original owner was.
Something like the motif or something. Ah, there we go.
Let's take a closer look at this. This blue book is somewhat similar to the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya. Almost. Maybe just change one thing. This
There we
blue
go.
book is the same thing as the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya.
You were hiding Freya's diary in your room, and you kept it locked, too.
Why would I do either of these things?
Why indeed?
Fifi didn't want anyone to see personal secrets within Freya's diary.
Is this true, Fifi?
I know Freya was your friend, but if you're trying to hide something,
You did not know Freya, so this might be difficult to understand. She did her own thing, in her own way. By concealing Freya's written accounts, it is simply my intention to preserve her innocence.
Innocence?
might be easier if you just let us read the diary, Fifi.
Very well. I will open it. However, as you read it, please remember, Freya was the most kind and the most wise person I have ever known.
All right, Fifi unlocked the diary.
Oof, okay.
Finally. What's in there?
I'm a little worried. It's back, in the flesh this time. Was it me? Did I let it out? Maybe I should rip up that painting. Soul Bearer works. Impressive little thing. I have 2 now. Need 2 more. Found my way into the middle. Surprisingly simple compared to the harp. I saw them, all 5, eyes blacked out. Despite everything, I still have a promise to keep. I'll do my best. She could do with a little company. Well, that's creepy. That is creepy as hell. Okay, huh. I wonder if, there's anything...
A book. My book.
And what's in it?
Pages.
Okay. Alright. Well. That's super weird. Okay. Let's save Hawkshaw for last. There he is. Lurk. The eye glow, it's so good. He's so scary, I love him.
I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone. Felix is a contradiction. His loyalties are placed firmly within the realm of materialism, money, property. But his ego relies on an entirely fraudulent self-image, don't you think?
I was just about to say the same thing.
Fifi doesn't like me.
What did you do?
I'm not sure. If you find out, maybe you can let me know. She questioned me.
About what?
My work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me, I can tell. She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind.
Have you met this guy, Fitz? Shifty eyes, doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask me.
That's me.
Yeah, it was a joke. I was joking.
Oh, I see.
Both so deadpan.
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer, sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds, too, and insects. He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's... well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good. It's good.
Like, why would you ask that?
Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes, blue hair, an average of 3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly. I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong?
Please, purple hair. Oh, oops, wait.
Nice painting. Gives you a pretty good idea of the layout.
The lake looks like it forms a perfect circle around the island.
It might seem strange to you, but nature is quite capable of producing perfectly geometric forms.
And those mountain cliff things around the outside?
We don't know much about them. They're unscalable. Not even Freya could have gone up there.
What's that?
This painting, it's speculative. There are no photographs from this angle as far as I know.
So Freya just made it up.
Let's call it an informed estimation. Who gave you that information?
Well...
We don't actually know who it was. We were contacted anonymously.
I see. And what happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer?
I never thought about that.
Honestly, that would be kind of fun. Like a twist, you know?
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. It's of no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking about it once.
What were they saying?
They were arguing about something, but I can't remember the details. How odd.
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her, after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor. That belongs to Poppy.
So, why is it up in Flora's tower?
I'm not sure. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. It's an egg with feet.
It was locked, but we opened it, but it was empty.
Fun story.
Cool story, bro.
Paints are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form.
True enough, I guess.
There's something off about this.
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly.
Okay.
That's quite sweet, really. Felix made that? Huh.
Fitz, one of these drawings is of you, in the rooftop garden, I think, with Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Are we done?
About halfway done.
It's Fifi and Freya.
Don't you think Poppy should be in the photo too?
Maybe, maybe not. She doesn't really like crowds.
2 people isn't a crowd.
Right, but if she was in the photo, then it'd be 3.
Checkmate.
Freya's best work, in my opinion. Although, the photo doesn't carry the same energy as the real thing.
What do you think it's a painting of?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the subject matter? What's that big red thing?
Oh, I don't think it's that kind of painting. Penelope knows about birds. You should ask her instead.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about something. There's a plant mentioned on this page, see? Do you have any? In the greenhouse?
No, I don't grow that anymore. I've tried, in the past. It's incredibly difficult, even for me. I could never get it to live more than a couple of weeks. Looks like someone doesn't want you to read that book.
That's the main thing making me want to read it.
You ever seen this before, Fitz?
No, but I don't normally go into Fifi's room.
That's not where we found it.
Oh, I just thought it looks like it belongs to her. This is a good example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse. It's made with water from the lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gem-stony.
Sometimes. You never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny, inedible fruit?
You look at it.
She tells it like it is.
This is yours, Fitz?
Yeah,
Do you use it?
I keep all my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she asked.
What's with the broken glass?
That's what I'd like to know.
Any idea who this is?
No idea. Poppy's piano music.
Liars.
I remember when she started learning. She's improved a lot since then.
Yeah, that's generally how it works.
Right, of course. Penelope's 3 favorite birds. She's very protective over them.
Are they, like, her pets? Do they have names?
Oh, they have names. Penelope loves to name things.
Do you remember what she named them?
I do not. Those petals, they,
What?
they're red.
I love you, Fitz.
A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to.
You clearly grew that for her.
I've seen beetles with brightly colored shells, metallic shells even. They're relatively common, especially around here. There's a difference between that and actual gold.
It can't be actual gold. Gold is just inside the earth or whatever. You can't make it. It's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
Wait, those are mine.
Wait,
the
but-
earmuffs. They went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
No. I wear them while I'm gardening, and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
I just realized the golden beetle may be gold-ish because of the soil, for the same reason that the fruit is gemstone-y. I know gold isn't a gemstone, but it's probably something similar.
We found these up in the rooftop garden. Do you know how long they've been there?
No, could have been a long time. We don't ever really clear up the rooftop garden.
Why not?
Nature is unruly. In truth, it prefers to be left alone. Did Freya draw these?
Yeah. There's a note on the back, too.
She was even closer to Flora than I realized.
Okay. It's about
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
Yeah, Poppy did say... Yeah, right, so he... Okay. So Poppy said she found his earmuffs in the hallway. Fifi said she saw Fitz going up Pointer Tower holding a knife. Though I'm pretty sure it was not a knife, but the trowel. And then he said that he doesn't ever have a reason to go up Pointer Tower, so... That is indeed suspicious.
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen sneaking up Pointer Tower. Holding a knife.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I don't sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much. But yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
Ah. The flower, yeah.
An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
That flower.
Yes.
I've never seen it before.
Liar!
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
Objection! Let's see. Flower from Penny's room. Oh, that.
Let's take a closer look at these. pot and soil in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse. Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence?
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
Sure
It
does.
took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again. When she's not there, water the flower, change the soil. Just trying to keep it alive.
Why do you bother? I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean... Yeah. Like, you made it. And... Yeah, so you're basically the only one who cares about that flower. And you can at least take care of it, even if you can't... You can at least cultivate it, even if you can't cultivate your relationship with her. Yeah, right. He clearly cares about the plants. Probably more than he cares about Penny, and more than Penny cares about either plants or him. Maybe. Actually, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's hard to say at this point, like, who actually has feelings for who. Like, there's definitely a love triangle going on here, but I don't really know the specifics. Yeah, it's hard to say at this point. Anyway, Hawkshaw.
Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky.
And I hear when you get old, you don't need as much sleep. Isn't it? Man, everyone's voice in this game is great. But yeah, like Hawkshaw and Poppy and Penny, I think, are particularly good. And Fitz.
Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious. Considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition. No focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely. 314 cases solved. 314.
How do you stack up, Grimoire? As far as I'm aware, 2. But you clearly, you have to have been working before, the whole carnival thing.
Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, Detective.
Yeah, what signs? Okay, so now I'm thinking that Professor Pointer hired her to look for the Golden Beetle.
I'll say this, he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers in secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless.
What does that mean?
Professor Pointer's a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself. What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
I find her rather embarrassing. Little more than a spoilt child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse.
There we go. 27. That's how old Penny is.
Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite. Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
Huh. I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that. I was disappointed too. You truly consider this a case file?
What's wrong with it?
No organization, no system.
That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out at once. Yeah, it helps me think.
How quaint.
Hey, you know, everyone has their own system. What works for me might not work for you, and vice versa.
Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried. It was underwater.
Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps? Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no, then. Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No.
No. Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking.
Sure.
A somewhat cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
Okay, now I want to know what music she really likes. K-pop is my guess.
I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last.
Really? Okay. So that makes me, yeah, so the whole gramophone cracked, the cracked gramophone, tape, broken glass, paints, whatever broke everything. I mean, we already know that. Like, that happened at roughly the same time as the murder, it seems. Or murder.
You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too?
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty. Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Mm-hmm.
The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told?
Oh no. Oh, Belmont, why? That is unfortunate.
These figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll. Turned out to be a bit of a smokescreen, as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure right at this very moment?
I'd tell him not to quit his day job, but he hasn't got one, has he?
Yeah, no, I gathered. I assumed that Belmont, in this case, was a brand name.
When did Freya draw the picture of you, Hawkshaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others anyway.
A photograph of Freya could be important. I admit, it's powerful. Freya was a talented young woman.
Someone even liked it enough to take a photo of it.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph, do we? Perhaps they just wanted it for reference. A book from the library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that. A diary. Have you read it?
Not yet. It's locked.
And you haven't
I did, though.
attempted to force it open?
That would be cheating. This belongs to you, Hawkshaw?
Correct.
And, what is it?
It's my handheld microscope for up-close investigation work.
What do you magnify with it?
Trace particles, dust, oils, clothing fibers.
Have you used it here at Tangle Tower?
I have. I used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
What were you looking for?
Huh.
That is between myself and my client.
Well, Fitz said you haven't been to the you haven't examined the greenhouse.
The people here are surprisingly materialistic, considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces a gemstone-like material. For what possible purpose, other than financial gain?
You're speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stone straight from the earth? This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around.
It's true. Can't believe what people throw away. You want to buy some of it?
Some breed of amphibious humanoid, potentially bipedal, although none of the statues show the creature's feet.
I guess we'll never know.
Yep, definitely a reference to Boggy.
Who's that?
Not sure. It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange. Is that a clue?
Dunno. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my law degree, doesn't make it a clue.
Same? Yeah?
Oh god, adorable.
3 birds, 1 cage. What makes them worth keeping cooped up, I wonder? Would they not be happier flying free?
But then they might fly away from Tangle Tower entirely.
I wonder if they would. These people really are ridiculous, aren't they? And you consider that important evidence, do you? Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories, but they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them.
Oh, good question. Like, you think that she might have been one of the family members? Possible. Very possible.
One of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs. For blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music.
That was good. Like, perfect line delivery.
Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
Oh, not yet. Did you see some suspicious leaves?
Grump face.
Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope.
Indeed.
Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
This little microscope thing, you said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense, if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry. We already worked out what you're searching for.
Further fuel for the Hawkshaw X Sally OTP. this thing.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
Also, now I'm thinking that Freya may have also been looking for the golden beetle. Which is probably why she... Like, that... I come to that conclusion because based on the fact that she was asking Fitz to put beetles in a box for her, in the hope that one of them would turn out to be the golden beetle. Actually, I'm not sure which one of these is right.
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
I totally forgot what Fifi said about it.
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Aksha, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
Now I'm wondering if, no, probably not. I thought that maybe based on your theory that maybe Hawkshaw's from Tangle Tower, I wonder if she's Primrose. But I don't think so. So now what?
A little pot plant, balanced on the window ledge.
It's the only plant in the entire room.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
I'm pretty sure I have harangued everyone about everything. But let's check. Let's just see if there's anything I might have missed. Check marks. Okay, so there's still a suspicion on him that I haven't found. I like how her theme music is like incorporates like people making bird sounds. It's very cute. Whatever Flora might have stolen? Wait, Flora? What did he say Flora stole? I know, yeah. I think it's only like today that I've actually got everyone's names straight. Like last week I definitely did not have them straight, and the week before that I did not either. Okay, so yeah, I've talked to everybody about everything, but maybe there's something in a room I haven't found. Suspect statement. Can't talk to her about anything else. I don't think I have enough information to do anything with this harp yet, still.
Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it working?
No. I'm still not sure about this thing.
Should we take another look?
Let's come back later.
Let me actually do one thing. Let me replay those cassette tapes in the gramophone.
It's piano music.
Yeah, we know that already. you, Flutterby. Thank you. Ah, was it my eye? No. Right. Okay. I was wondering if maybe like the little piece of like her little framed piece of music was anywhere in that piece, but I did not hear it. Let's hear this one again. This is Freya humming, if I can't recall correctly, or someone humming. I'm pretty sure that's the tape stopping.
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
Okay. That is also not the framed piece of music. That's just 4 notes. Yeah. That would be some Phoenix Wright puzzle shit, wouldn't it? And then there's also a little tune that plays here.
Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not?
That's also different.
It's a little melody.
I don't think it's someone banging on something. I think it's well, so to me it sounds like someone walking, and then the sound is distorted because that was the tape that was found underwater. So I think like the thumping whatever sound that is might just be distortion from the water. But I don't know, maybe there's something else going on.
Looks like someone tried to chop it down, but then gave up.
Can you blame them? Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us. Now it's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it anymore.
A little pond.
It looks really, really deep for some reason. See those metal bars around the edges too?
Oh yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
It's a rose bush, growing on a little patch of bluish soil. Apart from a couple of loose petals on one side, the whole thing looks very well cared for.
The roses are bright red too.
Now, aren't roses normally that color?
Exactly.
Not all roses.
Trees. On a roof.
In a garden.
In a garden. On a roof. Ah, a little water feature.
It's making me sleepy.
Wonder how it's hooked up.
That's one big dragonfly.
Or one very small dragon. It's another little statue, doing a really bad job of hiding in the bushes.
He's playing a lute this time.
He's also wearing headphones.
Well, they're not part of the statue. And they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
Right. Okay, let me take a look at something. Painted image of Flora is not holding a knife, she's actually holding a red and white ink dip feather. Flora once owned a rare ink dip bird with white and red feathers. Felix included the ink dip bird in the model he made for Flora. Flora was holding an ink dip feather while she was being painted. The feather was not found anywhere at the crime scene. The feather is normally kept inside Flora's ceramic egg. Right. Felix's red paint pot was found at the crime scene with blood in it. The red paint pot from Felix's room actually belongs to Freya. Felix had painted a model for Flora but needed red paint. He asked Freya to borrow her paint, but she said no. He took Freya's red paint pot and swapped the lid to disguise it. He left his own empty red paint pot in Freya's room. He finished painting the model but did not give it to Flora. Oops. Photograph proof of a diary actually belonged to Freya. Why did Fifi have it hidden in her room, and why is it locked? Fifi admits that the diary belonged to Freya. Fifi hid it in her room because she didn't want anyone to read it. Freya wrote things in her diary which seemed suspicious. Fifi didn't want the diary to incriminate Freya. Fifi unlocked the diary. Yep. Hawkshaw said she had a small microscope for detective work, but Fifi said it actually has a telescopic lens. Hawkshaw admits it's a telescope she's had since childhood. She is aware of Professor Pointer's work in astronomy. Pointer hired her to find his golden beetle, which has gone missing. Pointer thinks it was stolen by somebody at Tangle Tower. Hawkshaw's lead suspect for the theft was Freya Fellow. Fitz. Fifi says she saw Fitz carrying a knife up Pointer Tower. He was actually carrying his ornate trowel up to Penny's room. Fitz regularly goes into Penny's room with the ornate trowel. He uses it to look after the potted flower Penny has in her room. The flower was a gift from Fitz to Penny. Fitz is able to breed flowers with particular colors. Penny ignores the flower, so Fitz looks after it instead. There's definitely something suspicious about Pointer, but I haven't figured out what it is yet. The petals were taken from red roses in the rooftop garden. Penny used one of her birds to spy on Poppy and Fitz. Fitz and Poppy often spent time together in the rooftop garden. Penny was paranoid about the two of them. Penny sent her yellow bird Tabitha to spy on them. That's not how Tabitha is spelled when you were talking to her. I don't think. I think it's spelled with an A instead of an I. Tabitha stole rose petals as evidence of what they were doing. Penny feels that Fitz is slipping away from her. The pink cassette tape has piano music recorded on it. Does it belong to Poppy? Why was it found at the crime scene? Poppy admits the pink cassette tape used to belong to her. She recorded piano music on it and gave it to Freya. The crack on the tape must have happened quite recently. Freya liked to listen to music on the gramophone while painting. Poppy used to like bright pink, but she doesn't anymore. Okay.
painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
Painting supplies.
It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
Did Freya paint those animals on her ceiling?
They're kind of simplistic.
Maybe she painted them when she was younger. Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
Sure what else I can investigate. I feel like I've looked at everything. Don't really know what else to poke at.
Fifi's got something pinned up here.
What is all this?
Did you notice who isn't on here?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself. What's that big book on the desk?
Looks like something Fifi's been writing.
Is it a clue?
I hope not. It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology experiments. Boxes of stuff.
That's a whole lot of books. Ah, yes, a giant symbol drawn in chalk on the floor. Always a good omen.
It's an eye.
A lamp. It is most definitely turned off. Anything in the wardrobe?
Dresses mostly. I never realized there were so many shades of black.
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back. A single red rose. How very traditional.
Yeah, weird.
Various handmade posters.
What do you think those symbols mean?
Hopefully, nothing.
Who do we talk to about the diary? Do we talk to anybody about the diary?
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
Is that Fifi's diary? I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
I thought you and Fifi were close friends.
Yeah, we are. It's just Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it.
All right, you got your wish.
Spooky murder mansion?
Spooky murder mansion. We're at the top of the tower, right?
I think so. Why?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing.
It's so dark back there.
Somehow, the sunlight doesn't seem to be making it very far into the room.
Why are all these banners ripped, I wonder?
Half the room is a big open window.
I don't know if you can call it an open window. It's more like the sudden absence of wall.
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it?
Looks that way.
Let's see. Recording someone walking outdoors. Still don't have enough information to solve this. Combination is drawn on the other sheet. Once you've memorized, destroy it. I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find it down there. Bobby says that Freya would mix all the colors she would need before starting her painting. The red substance on the palette and brush was really blood, not paint. Right, and there was blood in her paint pot. Which, I mean, it sounds like Freya put that blood there. But whose blood? And where did she get it? I kind of feel like it was her own. Or it could be the ink dip birds. Freya might have killed the ink dip bird. I have no evidence for that, though. This bird has been extinct for a number of years. Well, now it is, assuming that the last one is dead. Might not be. It's back in the flesh this time. Was it me that I let it out? Maybe I should remove that painting. Soul Bearer works. I have 2 now, need 2 more. What is that about? I'm thinking, when she says, it's back in the flesh this time, was it me that I let it out and maybe I should rip up that painting? I think she's talking about Hawkshaw. I think she's terrified of Hawkshaw. But I don't know what that has to do with anything else. Hands of predators with a loud hiss, records over 95 decibels. Ooh. I'm thinking the golden beetle may have been responsible for the cracked stuff. Like, possibly may have been, like, amplified by the gramophone or something? Maybe Freya recorded it making its hiss. And then, ooh, yeah, and then, like, the tape was playing in the gramophone or something. And the recorded loud hiss broke a bunch of shit. But then, how does that explain the other broken stuff? The one in Poppy's room. Not the music room, I mean. Ooh, and then the earmuffs. The earmuffs are probably part of this too, because you put the earmuffs on, you can't hear the loud hiss. You can't hear the loud noise that was clearly damaging to so much stuff and possibly people. Most likely people. So someone was using the earmuffs to protect themselves from a loud noise. But I don't know how to acquire any of that information in the game. Like, this is all just conjecture at this point, because even if I am pretty confident about this, how do I get Detective Grimoire to realize any of this? I don't know what I'm missing. I should stop, actually. Let's see one thing real quick.
Yes, it's my, my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it?
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar.
Yeah, but I don't get is like...
My little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
What's that mean?
My little writing.
There's nothing written in the book.
What's with those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh.
What, I mean, yeah, like, what does solving someone's suspicion prompt do? Like, does it open up anything else? Because I don't think I've ever been able to, like, ask them about anything else now, once I've uncovered their suspicion, or whatever it is that, that information is. Kind of at a loss here now.
A little tea set. Looks recently used.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed.
Okay, well, that is about all I have time for tonight, so I guess I will end it there, and we'll try and figure out what to do next week. Yeah, All right, well, yeah, we'll poke at it some more next week. And let's see, tomorrow is a reciteer day. And let's see, who can I raid? Ooh. Oh, that looks cool. I haven't raided Kilgore Trout in a while, and he's playing Legends of Valor, which I'm unfamiliar with, but looks like one of those tile-based dungeon crawlers, which I'm a sucker for. So, I'll send you over to him. So yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. I don't know where we'll go from here, but we will figure it out eventually. And yeah, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow for Reciteer. Thank you, and good night.